All right, we are ready to roll. Bitcoin is exactly 19,263 bucks. Basically, same price as when I streamed yesterday. So nothing has really changed here. Today, it is me, myself, and I on the stream here. MLD is not in the house today. He is off for today. So we are just rolling here to make some money here and see what is going to happen with the Bitcoin price. So today's subject is Bitcoin is near the all-time high. How long can this last? For about 2 weeks now, at least. I would say the majority of the market is expecting or has been expecting a pullback in the Bitcoin price. That has not happened at all, right? The Bitcoin price, yesterday I was freaking out just a little bit, getting to the actual realization that Bitcoin is going to hit a new all-time high, like very, very soon, right? And so that's either going to happen this week or as soon as December starts. So, all bets are off once Bitcoin gets to all-time highs. Things will be moving very, very quickly. So we're going to take a look at that today. Specifically, right, when will Bitcoin, or what will it take for Bitcoin to get to its all-time high? What's stopping it right now from getting to its all-time high? How long can the bull market currently last, right, once we get into new all-time highs? And then what are the things that we need to pay attention to in order to make more money in this bull market? Because, I would say right now we're about 30 or 33% through the current bull market. So we're at the phase one is done. Phase two, which to be honest is probably the most profitable part of the market, where it is steady but going high at the same time. The last part of the market is the most profitable but becomes very, very risky. So that's why the middle of the market, which we're currently approaching, is absolutely the best place. Not to be buying, but to be making money. So you want, obviously, ideally, your holdings when Bitcoin has been under, obviously 10K, because me and John have been saying that since February of 2019. But if you weren't one of those people who got in yet and are still paying attention or just starting to pay attention, then the price, right, under 15,000 is ideal, but under 20,000 is still not terrible, right? Because that's still under the all-time high. But right now, as we discussed last week on the Tokyo Crypto Show, me and John mentioned that Ethereum is the better play right now. So we'll get into that today. We'll get into all these subjects. And we'll get into some information I wanted to show on my show yesterday, but was just too elated with how amazing this bull run is going to be to even freaking talk properly yesterday. So that was pretty funny. But yeah, let's get to it. So let me say hi to some guys in the chat, because we are actually, just before I do that, because we got a lot of guys who are ready to jump into the crypto mindset course, which is coming out right on December 4th, and will be available for 5 days only from December 4th through December 8th. And we'll have webinars starting on December 10th. So you can go to cryptomindsetcourse.com. I'll give you guys the link in the chat here in a second. It will look like this. Make money with crypto today. Only available for 5 days, right, on the sales timing. And then we will start. We have about 50 people signed up for the course already. And we have 87 people from the Q1 who will be joining the webinars as well. So the webinars are going to be amazing. We're going to have a really good time. We're going to share a lot of knowledge, and you guys are going to make a lot of money. I know last quarter, the thing I was mentioning was, here, let me get the link to that actually, because I did not prepare that before today. Tisk. There we go. But we're going to have a really good time making money this quarter, because before the last quarter, there we go. Right in the chat there, cryptomindsetcourse.com. If you're not yet on the short list, not on the waiting list, go there, sign up. And as soon as we go live on December 4th, you will be notified by email, and yeah, you'll be ready to make those gains. But the reason why, or one thing I was going to say was in Q4 2020, which was in preparation for Q4, right, was the course that we had from September of this year. Before that, I said I was pretty confident that, of course, not financial advice. If you got into the course, you could somewhat easily, of course, with effort and work, make more than double your money in Q4. And surprise, surprise, most of the guys in the course did just that. Some of the guys did that within the webinars itself, right? So that's very exciting. Q1 2021, which is the current crypto mindset course, is going to be $497, and it's going to be, you know, I would say a better money-making opportunity. Of course, this last quarter has already been great. We're not yet finished yet. We still got a month to go, and the prices are going good. So we're going to have a little bit of a, you know, blow off top, in my opinion, of Bitcoin in December and Ethereum and some of the altcoins as well. Maybe get a reset in January. And then so we get basically 2 chances to make a significant amount of money. So within the webinars themselves, there is a solid chance. Of course, again, not financial advice, but yeah, could be just as amazing, if not better than Q1. So each of the webinars will be a couple of hours recorded, and then we will go into questions that we can't speak about on YouTube or that we can't do while recording. So those are usually the best times in the course. We had lots of interesting questions during Q1. So throw any questions you got at us, and we will answer them as, you know, clearly and openly as we can, especially once the recording is off. So we got some people jumping in the house already. Got Mac Dad in the house, says, moving some money around, I should have about $10,000 to invest during the course. Is this enough? Good morning. Yes, plenty enough. You know, we always say every man should have 1 Bitcoin. And well, you know, 1 Bitcoin used to be under $10,000. So that's what, you know, would have gotten you that 1 full Bitcoin before. But still, you know, you can do plenty of damage with 10K plus to invest. So very good. No problem. Marco's in the house, says, good afternoon, Sergeant Major Charlie of the 193rd Crypto Brigade. Good afternoon to you, sir. Extra Rock in the house with the extra Rock for the Moon Gang. Suleiman says, hope Charlie's chilled out today. Yeah, I've gotten over the insanity of realizing that we're going to get to all-time highs. Let's see. Mishka's in the house. And yeah, we got a bunch of people. I'm not going to say hi to everybody, obviously, today. I'm just kind of scrolling through here, seeing what you guys are talking about. Nice. Freesha says, morning. This is the most beautiful overcast sunrise I've seen in a long time. Yeah. When Bitcoin price is going up, everything is amazing. Who cares? Victor is in the house. What up, Victor? Our man in China. What up, Mo? Mo's doing just fine with his crypto as well. Flippin' Twit says, the Sell app is giving me money. Dot giving me money. Bitcoin and Litecoin going up on rockets. Good times indeed. Yes, yes, sir. Spencer, Moon Gang, baby. Moon Gang. All right, so let's get into it. Let's talk about stuff. We got plenty of stuff going on here, right? Nigerian Don LD. Yeah, he'll be back. Actually, it might be a while before we have a back to normal Tokyo crypto show, because John's birthday is next week. And then we also have the holidays coming up. We have the crypto mindset course coming up, where I'm going to take a week off from YouTube. So yeah, lots of good stuff going on. Good. All right. As Chess says, hit the like button, you degenerates. For sure. All right. So let's get into it. So I wasn't able to go properly through the memes yesterday, so we're going to go through some memes today. We're going to just do my normal format, not my normal format, a little bit different from my normal format, but basically my format that I do on my show, since I'm doing the one-man band today. Love you guys. The chat is always entertaining. So here we go. Hopefully a lot of people in the chat can say this, because we were talking about the Bitcoin price when we were in the Corona crash, right? We had Greg, the dip buyer of the year, buying up as much Bitcoin around $4,000 as he could in our Telegram group. That was awesome. He, just buy that dip, baby. And also, we were doing, we launched Moon Gang, which is the show that I have on Sunday nights, basically during the Corona crash. And yeah, we're talking here on the Tokyo Crypto Show. There's plenty of content 5 days a week for you to have heard that, yes, Bitcoin was risky at the time, but very, very low, close to its 200-day moving average. So hopefully some of you can say this when one of your children asks you, what did you, or nephews or nieces, whatever, what did you do during the coronavirus, Dad? I bought more Bitcoin. Goddamn legend. I don't know how much swearing I can do on YouTube. I think they suppressed my video a little bit yesterday because I was a little bit going nuts. This one here, Masayoshi Son, the SoftBank CEO, says he doesn't understand Bitcoin, of course, because he sold his stake, lost about $130 million. Of course, he's a billionaire, so not so crazy. But we'll take a look at that article in a little bit of depth today. This one, the herd is coming. Excuse me, sir. Do you have any more of those Bitcoins? Not for you. Don't sell. Hold hard. Very nice. Great success. Yes, yes, yes. Good success, as Borat says. And that was, if you look at the screenshot, when Bitcoin was at 18K. We're at 19,169 right now. So even better success. And this one is absolutely nuts to me. This is not obviously the exact number today. I think this was a meme from yesterday or whatever. 1,072 days since the Bitcoin all-time high. It's been a long time. Been watching this thing for 3+ years. Been doing the YouTube show telling you guys to buy Bitcoin for a year and a half. A lot of you guys have made a lot of money. A lot of you guys are going to make more money. Good times ahead. But yeah, once we break that all-time high, baby, it's time for Tom Hanks to get a shave there. So let's take a look at what's happening in the altcoins today, and then we'll take a look at what's happening with Bitcoin specifically and Ethereum, of course. And then we'll get into what are the reasons why Bitcoin is moving like this and what's the likelihood of it continuing to the upside soon. Right? I'm pretty bullish on it. But yeah, we'll take a look here. So first, let's take a look at what's moving in the top 100. We got Stellar up 42% today. That is pretty good for a coin that, if you take a look at it just on a macro chart, basically had been treading its bottom for quite a long time compared to both Bitcoin and dollars. Bitcoin is the orange, dollars is the green. And yeah, so you saw it pump up here compared to Bitcoin and dollars in 2017, early 2018, just been dumping ever since. Now is the first time that it's made some moves in this, basically in the entire bear market. And we're in the, already a third into the bull market, and it just started moving. It's a little bit of a laggard, but they did recently have a few events with Stellar, some new news coming out. And so that's why, one of the reasons why it's pumping. If we were to take a look here at XLM, Stellar, take a look at it on Kraken, that is some crazy ass moves, right? And so let's zoom out here onto the weekly chart. Not quite the best chart here on Kraken, but the main thing, well, actually, I want to get a better one. Bitfinex, not great. Coinbase, not great. All right, we'll go with Bitfinex. Yes. Or now we'll go with, yeah, go with Kraken. All right, but let's see here. This was the high of 48 cents, right? Where was that with the Stellar price here? Basically close to its all-time high. That was in January of 2018. So I think this is generally correct, right? This is February of 2018. So anyways, the all-time high was around here, right? Basically coming up right now, hitting this area of resistance on the weekly chart with just 2 weeks of solid price action. But the main thing with this is the previous high from right here, like right here, is the area that it needed to crack. It did so this week, and that's one of the reasons why it's able to pump up so much. We'll see if this continues next week or gets rejected at this area. It looks like it might continue up for another week, but how much, God only knows, or we're not going to get into it in too much depth. We're just taking a look at the health of the overall market. Stellar is finally trying to get healthy again. Yep, so that's that one. Zilliqa is up 40% as well today. And you can notice we're not going to be able to take a look at all of these because there are so many cryptocurrencies pumping more than 10% in the last 24 hours. Everything's getting bullish. I hate to say it, or I don't want to jinx it, but alt season. Are you here? We had an alt season from May of this year through August, the end of August, early September. That was a legitimate alt season. I would say the first sustained decent chunk of time for an alt season, but it wasn't every single altcoin. It was specific ones. Now we're going to see more alts that have not pumped like Stellar, right? Have not pumped in this bull market yet. They're going to start playing catch up, right? So you're going to get a lot more opportunities for things to be pumping. So Zilliqa is noteworthy here of 40% in the last 24 hours, and also trying to break its previous highs, right, and continue up here. But also this one's not one that I'm too keen on. Bob Z says, the alt gods strike back. That is true. Revenge of the alts, as I would like to say. Then we got Nano up 27%. Now, to me, Nano is not a particularly interesting coin. They have a good community, but that's about it. It's not really that unique of a coin. And just look at this. This is a dying cryptocurrency. This is the idea of a chart. Even if it moves up 25% in a day, you don't really want to touch it. It's not really anything noteworthy. So that's, often when we go through these altcoins, you'll see a lot of that type of thing. We'll just go through the ones that are up more than 25% today, which we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different cryptocurrencies in the top 100, more than 25% today. This one, NEM, is also the same situation, not really doing too much. I mean, in the recent price, it is moving past its previous, trying to move past its previous highs, moving past it compared to dollars, but not yet compared to Bitcoin. But yeah, not really that interested in that coin. Horizon Zen, also up 23%. This one not as bad, right? It had pumped and dumped, but had a little bit more fluctuation, but still nothing to write home about yet. Status also had a long time that was just dying or not really doing much of anything. So it seems that some of the alts that are moving a lot today are the alts that have not moved in a while, right? Of course, we have other ones which have moved before, like Digibyte. Golem hadn't moved in a while. 0x had been doing some stuff. VeChain is pumping, which is nice. Let's take a look at that real quick. That's actually a very good move for VeChain, because VeChain made new all-time highs in dollars, but not in Bitcoin back in August. And now it's going to try to test those compared to dollars. It's not quite there compared to Bitcoin. And why do we care compare the difference compared to Bitcoin and dollars? Depends. Are you trying to gain more dollars or trying to gain more Bitcoin? I would say in the short term, it's better for people to, and it's easier, right, to focus on gaining more dollars. But in the long term, we know Bitcoin is going to beat the dollar overall over the long period of time, because that's what it's been doing its entire history. Until that trend stops, right? We just want more Bitcoin. Some people want more Ethereum, but those are the top two coins that we know will be here over the long term. So those are the coins. If you're going to look at a crypto to crypto chart, those are the ones that we want to look at. In the crypto mindset course, we didn't talk about that too much in the first quarter or in Q4 2021. We'll talk about it in Q1 2020 in December. We'll talk more about the crypto to crypto charts and why those can be useful in the bull market. But yeah, VeChain, let's take a quick look at the chart here. Sejals, yes. Did somebody write home? Digibyte finally did something. All right. So yeah, VeChain here. I believe this was its all-time high back in July. Or no, that's July of 2018. Let's see. Its high here was back in, September, August of 2018, something like that. So yeah, we have, that's generally all we need to know. And so yeah, basically VeChain needs to beat this area here. Right, and it's popping off. It popped off its 50-week moving average, moving up. Also, this is nice to see. The weekly Bollinger Bands. Basically, all this means is this is where resistance will be, and that's at resistance of the all-time high as well. Here's the thing: is this is a 20-week moving average. This little burgundy line in the middle here, and it just crossed above there this week. We have 4 days and 10 hours to close above that 20-week moving average. A close above there would be bullish, and then VeChain should start to test the previous highs here that it needs to break and the Bollinger Bands. If over the next, let's say, 2 to 3 weeks, VeChain can continue this type of gain, which over the last 2 weeks, it's basically had the same gain of about a 30% increase each week. Now, that's pretty amazing, but that happens commonly in cryptos when they are pumping, right? VeChain here back in July of this year pumped in that 1 month over 70% from just the candle body. If you go to the candle wick, it doubled in, sorry, not 1 month, 1 week. 1 week. So these things can move fast, and yeah, VeChain could do that here, but we need to see it test those areas, or at least close above that 20-week moving average this week, which is currently at 1.5 pennies, and it's currently at 1.7 pennies. So it's making its moves. So VeChain's good. Let's see, is there anything else noteworthy on here of any of the good stuff? So OMG pumping, that's good. But yeah, all these other ones, Altcoin, we don't really need to pay attention to. And yeah, but we got a lot of green here today. Ripple's only doing 10%. Verge is even there. All sorts of stuff coming out of the woodwork. Let's see, is there anything in the top 100 that's not moving? Oh yeah, we have a few that are going sideways, basically stable coins. And the biggest loser out of the top 100 is Bitcoin Gold, which I would never recommend to buy, and Hedge Trade, which also not really that useful. So overall, pretty good movement here today in the alts. Let's move over to the Bitcoin price. So thinking about, right, what is happening with the Bitcoin price, this is going to be important. I'm just taking a look at the chat real quick. All right, cool. So yeah, basically what we got going here with Bitcoin, right, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks in a row of positive price action. Now, the question is, can that be sustained? Can that continue? So we got to look at actually, we got to look at all 3 charts: the weekly, the monthly, and then also the daily chart. If you take a look at those 3 charts, you can kind of start getting an idea for how easy or difficult it will be for Bitcoin to continue growing. So the first thing is, what's the macro trend, right? So we'll take a look at the weekly chart for that, and then we'll go to the monthly as well for the macro trend. So the macro trend here is this trend line to the downside, and then this trend line to the outside on the lows. That creates a symmetrical triangle, right? We take the top of the triangle to the bottom of the triangle. We take the price difference and we add it to the breakout, which is arguably at about $11,000. It broke out, came back below, and then just has massively taken off ever since. Once it hit resistance here at 14K or 13,500, it just kept going. The next kind of flimsy resistance was here at 16,000, broke right through that. 20K, or the high actually of Bitcoin, the all-time high is between 19,600 and 19,900, depending on the exchange. That area is just barely above us, right? Almost nothing, right? From the current price to, let's say, just go all the way to 20,000. That's a 4.5% increase in price. Now, Bitcoin does that in a day, no problem. Maybe even 2 days, right? Bitcoin can do a 0.5% increase, no problem. Just this week, right? And we're not even that far into the week. Bitcoin has moved a whopping 8%. I mean, that's not that much for Bitcoin, but 5% from the candle body, or yeah, about 5% just for the candle body. So yeah, it only takes 1 week of price action. Now, there have been several times when we've had 8 weeks in a row. Here we had 7 weeks in a row after the Corona crash of upside price action. Here we had about 7 weeks in a row in early 2019, and it had a little bit of a stop, but then continued, right? As well with Corona, it came up, stopped, just went sideways for a while, and then continued. And same with this in 2017, right? It had, here we had 11 weeks up with one red week in the middle there, but about, I think 8 consecutive weeks here, very similar to what we got going on now. Then a decent correction. Now this correction was pretty significant, right? Just in terms of percentage, at about 39% decrease. So that is the risk right now, right? With Bitcoin getting to the current prices, the risk is a pullback of about 20 to 37 or 39%. So about a 28% pullback would be common in bull markets. And sometimes Bitcoin's gone as long as 10 weeks in a row to the upside without having a red candle. So things are looking positive and not abnormal, but pretty normal for Bitcoin's bull market. If we take a look at the monthly chart, one thing is really interesting on the monthly. Look at this month's candle compared to the all-time highs here in 2017 and early 2018. So the month of December in 2017 started here at $9,900, $9,942. And the month ended in the end of December 2017 at 13,900 roughly. But it went up to that 19,600 or so peak, right? So these wicks just showed within that month, right? Bitcoin had a hard time sustaining the price above 13,800. This month, we have 5 days and 10 hours left, and it's looking strong. This is the best monthly candle Bitcoin has had probably since after the Corona crash, and maybe even since this month in May last year of 2019. So this is significant. And what's holding Bitcoin back right now? If we turn on our Bollinger Bands, not a lot. The all-time high is not really resistance. The only thing we have that we're hitting on right now for this month, for the next 5.5 days, is you can see these Bollinger Bands have different colors, okay? So we have the yellow, we have the red, the white, and the green. The green is almost never touched. You can see it touched it once at the top of the bull market, but didn't really get close to touching it at all elsewhere in 2017. And so I don't expect it to get anywhere near there anytime soon. That currently is at about 24,000. If Bitcoin was to try to hit that level within this month, I don't think that's going to happen. We have the yellow or the white here, which is, I believe, 4 standard deviations away from the 20-week moving average. And that one could get hit, right? We saw that happen here, 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 here multiple times in 2016 and 2017 in the last bull market. So this is one scenario that I could see happening this week, right? To finish the month of November, which is a wick up here to touch that top of the white band, come back down, kind of close the month around the current price. We have Bitcoin options and futures closing on Friday on the CME. The last time that happened in September, the Bitcoin price was bullish. It didn't react negatively to that. So I don't expect that to have much effect on the price in terms of not to the negative side. And so what would we expect them for the next month here? Well, take a look at this. Last time Bitcoin opened up the Bollinger Bands like this was back in May of 2016. So you can see it here hitting to the upside, right? We just hit to the upside in October, but really didn't really push the Bollinger Bands to the upside until November this month. And so you can see this here. We hit the Bollinger Band here, but it really didn't move it up until this month in May of 2016. And the next month was plenty high before 2 months of negative price action before continuing, right? So it doesn't mean that's going to happen again, but that's somewhat similar, right? So we have this push up. After this push up, what this does is the Bollinger Bands open up, and then it allows for Bitcoin to run to the upside. So that's one thing to take note of. And the target for this symmetrical triangle pattern is a minimum of $27,000, maybe even up to $30,000 if in December is possible. I'm not saying that's likely, but it is possible. All right. But here's one thing to take note of as well. Something that I haven't talked about too much on the channel before. If you just take a look at the trend for Bitcoin from the low here in August of 2015 to the low here, but minus this wick, just going to the candles. And we'll take this out to 2023, right? January, right? For this bull market. And then we'll go to the upside as well. And we'll go from this high here of November of 2013. So you just look at the long-term macro pattern and we'll go to the wick there and we'll bring this up. And you can see we have a channel here for Bitcoin that has been respected arguably since 2013 December and 2015 August. That was the high and low part. Then we touched the top once. So we touched the top once, twice. We touched the bottom once, twice, right? You could argue maybe close to 3 times or on the bottom, but basically once, twice. If you get 2 touches of a trend line, that is a valid trend line. And so right now, Bitcoin is just starting to take off from this trend line, which is awesome. So we have 2 months of action, right? We had that downwards pattern being broken, and then we had the support here of this upwards pattern from the long term. And so that kind of triangulated the price of 10,500 as support that Bitcoin needed to hold after the breakout, and it did. Now, let's take a look at a couple targets here to the upside between now and 2023. So there's 2 scenarios for the Bitcoin bull market. Some people are talking about the scenario. It should be streaming on your channel, John. Yeah, it's streaming on your channel. So that's fine. But anyways, what was I going to say? Basically, oh yeah, the upwards part of the channel. So we have 2 scenarios for the Bitcoin bull market. One scenario is that we have the upwards channel, or sorry, not the upwards channel. We have the 4-year cycle, which some people say is going to be the end of 2021. And then we have a lengthening cycle, which some people say is going to be around 2022, 2023 for the all-time high in this next bull cycle that we're currently, I would say, about a third of the way through. All right. So let's take those 2 dates and just take a look at the top of this Bitcoin channel. So if we took a look at the end of next year, 2021, according to this, now Citibank drew these trend lines a little different, much more bullishly, but here at least, right, we have about $159,000 Bitcoin if it were to try to touch the top of this channel like it did these past 2 times, right? If we go as far as the end of 2022, I would actually have to take this out a little bit further here. It's not that far. And right, if we were to say the end of 2022 instead, right, this goes pretty crazily high up here to $600,000. So I don't think that's very possible, but that, you know, measly 100K that we've been talking about for the last 1 year as our target for this bull market doesn't look too difficult when you look at it in that fashion. And then also it shows you what prices Bitcoin should stay above traditionally, right? At least on monthly closes, which it says then here by summer of next year, Bitcoin should be steadily above 16,300. And then here in, let's say, the end of 2022, Bitcoin should be well above and be supported above $45,000. So the current price compared to what this trend line is showing us for the future is still cheap. Now, just barely, right? Still barely under that 20,000. So if you want more Bitcoin, I would say now and maybe January, depending on how high it gets here in the next 1 month, are the times that you might be able to accumulate more. But like we said last week, focus on Ethereum a little bit more heavily, but don't forget to still have that goal to get 1 whole Bitcoin if you have not gotten that yet. That will become a bigger and bigger challenge the more we go through this bull market. So that's the long term. Let's take a look at the short term here on the daily. And this is, information where you can make money, right? And so let's see here. We still have this uptrend. It's getting a little crazy, but currently in the 60-day cycle, right? We're on day 17 of the current cycle, and we are making new highs for Bitcoin here. So the date to pay attention to, guys, is December 8th. If Bitcoin is making new highs after December 8th, which it looks like it should, it will continue through Christmas, and it will be a very Merry Christmas with Bitcoin hitting maybe astronomical numbers, new all-time highs in the 20Ks, right? Now let's take a look at Ethereum, because I told you guys that Ethereum is something else to pay attention to, or maybe a little bit more important for the guys who maybe haven't gotten their crypto fix yet. So Ethereum here has broken out of this short-term channel and is heading towards $660 with a vengeance. It's going to hit that virtually guaranteed within this year. And like we said last week, John was calling for above or about $11,100 Ethereum. So $1,100 is John's call. My call right now is a little bit more conservative. I'm looking for about $830 or $820 Ethereum by the end of this year. And of course, the closer we get to that, the easier it may seem. So that's what we're looking for. If you turn on the Bollinger Bands here on the weekly, we got to kind of readjust this. Ethereum as well, right, is starting to open up those Bollinger Bands on a weekly scale. So once this week closes in about 4 days and 10 hours, it can have more moves to the upside. But here's the difference, right? Ethereum's all-time high was here at 14,770. Ethereum is far below that all-time high, where Bitcoin is only 5% from its all-time high. Ethereum, right, if you go in the negative sense from the top down, is still 60% below its all-time high. In order to get to its all-time high, it has to yet increase 150% virtually, right, from the current price. So that means if you buy Ethereum at the current price, and it will break its all-time high in this bull market within the next 365 days, you're basically guaranteed a 150% increase on your money, and likely much, much more in this bull market. So that's the free money that I just, that we're giving you today here, guys, is if anything, buy Ethereum at the current price, hold it for a year. You've more than doubled your money. You can thank me later. For anybody who's new and hasn't gotten that part of their crypto game yet, just do that. Easy as pie. Open up a Coinbase account, open up a Kraken account, something like that, and just, buy some. Super simple. Tax purposes, you're going to want to hold it for at least 365 days before selling it anyways. So the sooner you get that, the easier it will be on your taxes if you want to sell out at the end of next year and have a very Merry Christmas as well. We'll have a very Merry Christmas this year as well as for next year in 2021. So we know the bull market's going to last that long, right? At least until the end of 2021. But it is very high potential that the bull market could continue after that and be these lengthening cycles. But we're at least guaranteed 1 year, might have 2 more years in this thing. So just be aware of that. If we do have 2 more years, the highs can get a lot better. But we'll see here what happens. So let's take a look at the chat real quick, and then we will also get into some news of why Bitcoin is pumping right now. Why is it doing this stuff? Basically, well, the smart money is buying Bitcoin right now, and the dumb money is going to buy it at the top of the market. So we'll talk about that in a little bit more depth here, but let's take a look at the chat here first, which is Ed from LA says Ethereum is still napping. That is 100% true. And yeah, you want those sleeping giants. Those are the easiest money, right? You have the only risk you have with buying Ethereum right now is that you might want to buy more at the end of January, early February. That's the only risk. The upside is virtually guaranteed. Not financial advice again, but very, very likely. All right. Blue Chip Tech says, can't believe there are only 5 people watching. Well, we have this on 2 channels. We have it on my channel as well as John's. We have about 148 people watching currently across different streams. But yeah, some people just don't like free money. But this is what happens in a bull market. Mass psychology does not, believe anything like this is happening in crypto. Even some guys that were paying very close attention to the Bitcoin price in 2017, I talked to them recently, right? And they said, what's Bitcoin at? And I said, well, this was just back in October. I said 14,000. And they said, oh, I thought it was still at 7,000. And these are guys who were paying attention, who know their shit with the crypto game. They were still thinking that, right? So all the normies, all the people out there who don't understand crypto, or aren't interested in crypto, or aren't looking at it yet, they aren't paying attention. So, more for us and better buys for us as well. But the smart money is paying attention. And I'll show you in a second what some of that smart money might look like. Infamous Rifle says, I'll take your advice, Charlie. Ethereum it is. You'll thank me later. You'll be very, very happy. Good luck. Yes, exactly. Sacred Fire says, we are early adopters. Yes, the innovation phase with Bitcoin was its first 10 years. We're getting into the early adoption phase now. And then maybe we'll have mainstream adoption by the end of this decade. I think that'll be very, very likely with a centralized digital currency coming out through basically every government. So people will no longer have a technical difficulty with holding and sending digital currency. So therefore cryptocurrency will then become much easier. And then that's when you can get the masses much easier in. But for now, we're the ones who can make the most money. And it's better to make more money a little bit earlier in these cycles. Right now, I would say this middle of this bull run, 2021, it has the lowest risk that you can imagine so far in Bitcoin's history to buy it, and other cryptos as well, including Ethereum. The lowest risk, we have the most, we have over 10 years of history already in crypto moving. And so right now is you're going to get in just before the best move of the market and the lowest risk in the market, or not the lowest risk, but lowest risk compared to, once we get going in a market historically. And so, yeah, I would just say for the normal person, the average person, it's proven itself enough now, especially now it's about to break its all-time high. Crypto has proven itself enough now that I believe if you have this information now today and you're not buying Bitcoin, or you're not buying Ethereum, or you're not getting into any type of cryptocurrency yet, I can only keep telling you every single day, 5 days a week, right? Or every week, 5 days a week. Hot Dude Boat Party says Kaizen Kings. Be a good time. Good time. Sam says he bought Ethereum last week, allegedly. Then he lost it in a boating accident, right? Ryan Allen says Kusama going to $100 to $120 this year, currently floating around that $40 price. Very possible. Very, very possible. I think we get a mini alt season here in December. Don't quote me on that, but it's very possible. Jules Verne says, buy the fear. Exactly. Warren Buffett said, when people are fearful, be greedy. When people are greedy, be fearful. People are still fearful about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency right now. So, yep. There we go. Ali J, he's tuned in. He says, PayPal bought $70 million worth of Bitcoin. There's also that is part of the smart money right there. They are preparing for the bull market. Art Suave Angelo's in the house. He says, what's your opinion on Theta, Charlie? I like it. It was part of my list of the top 10 for the second half of this year. It's one of the few, I told you guys, of the top 10 for this second half of 2020, Theta might be like one of the lower performing ones. Still did okay. But yeah, Kusama and others did much, much better. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Shane says, are the Bitcoin miners going to dilute the system? No, they can't. Basically, the Bitcoin miners, right, to pay for their electricity will sell soon after they get their Bitcoin, which the fair value to produce one Bitcoin right now globally is about $15,800 on average to make one Bitcoin if you are a miner at an industrial level. And right now we have Bitcoin's price above there, so they will be selling at profit to the market. There are more buyers than sellers at the moment, right? So they sell to the market. We have only 2 companies or 2 organizations buying enough Bitcoin that they are buying way more than the new supply coming out from miners every day. There's about 900 new Bitcoin being minted every single day, right, by miners. Only 2 organizations, PayPal and Grayscale, right, which is a Wall Street company that holds Bitcoin for wealthy fund managers, and people who want to trade Bitcoin as a stock in their 401ks or IRAs. Those 2 companies alone are buying way more Bitcoin. I believe the stat is something like 4 times more. So that would be what? 3,600 Bitcoin per day. Just those 2 are buying. Don't quote me on that. It's at least double, but yeah. way over the 900 Bitcoin that are being created every day. So there is not enough supply right now. We have a supply shortage of Bitcoin. And why is the smart money, right? Some of these high net worth individuals, I believe it was, God, I forget the rapper's name. Logic, I believe, was one of the guys who was buying. He bought like $6 million worth of Bitcoin. Jack Dorsey bought 50 million. Michael Saylor bought 425 million for his company dollars worth of Bitcoin. So we have all these people. We have Steven Druckenmiller, who's one of the biggest hedge fund managers in the world, said Bitcoin is worth the risk, and he has some. Right, he's not 100% sold on it. We have BlackRock. Actually, I'll talk about this today. BlackRock, which is a company that has trillions of dollars in their vaults, they said Bitcoin may be something to pay attention to in this bull run. So a lot of the smart money, a lot of the guys who said, even PayPal in 2017 said Bitcoin is worthless. It is not going to do anything. And look at what it's doing, right? So we don't really need to worry about the supply. There is not enough supply out there for the people who want it. So price will go up. But very, very good question. Good. Cody says, lost all my crypto and guns in a horrible boating accident. Yes. That is the story. So Ricardo says, should we buy Ethereum now or wait till January? I would say if you buy Ethereum under $600, no problem to buy it now. Maybe keep a little cash on the side, right? Even under 650 is still okay. Under 700 is not terrible. But I believe we get 660 by the end of this year. So under 650, you can buy Ethereum, be comfortable, maybe spend somewhere between 60 to 80% of the cash that you want to buy Ethereum with at the current price or around the current price, under 650 basically. And then if you want to buy more in January, if there is a dip. Now, if there's not a significant dip, let's say it goes to the 1,100 that John MLD is talking about, right? Let's say it goes to 1,100 and it pulls back 20%, right? That's not even down to $800. So, now is still a really good price. I told everybody, buy as much Ethereum as you want under $500. Only so many people did so. Yeah, it's a really good buy still. So you're not going to be kicking yourself too much. But I do recommend holding some cash on the side for future buys. Blowing your load all at one time is never good. Well, sometimes it can be, but you get my gist. Can't wait for the top 10 for 2020. You mean 2021, maybe, Adam? John says, yeah, Cody, my condolences, brother. James Arthur, I love it. It says, can't wait for the course. I want to feel like you did yesterday, Charlie. Yeah, man. Yeah, you'll feel like I did not expect at all. You'll feel some craziness at the end of this bull market for sure if you get in. And yeah, welcome to the course. We'll have a good time. Yeah, very good choice. Editor Edit says, didn't buy Ethereum. I bought DOT instead. No regrets. Yeah, no problem. DOT is also one of the ones that can be very good for this year, or not for this year, but for the whole bull market. Che says, Link or DOT as my third or alleged third crypto? Good question. I would say Chainlink we know more about in terms of its project, and things are already moving forward very much. So you're going to be very, very happy with Chainlink, and it's already proven itself a lot more. So if you want a little bit less risk, but I'm not sure if it will go higher or lower than DOT in terms of gain. So the lower risk one I would say is Link. That's still a huge, great cryptocurrency that's going to do very well in this bull market and will be relatively safe for an altcoin. DOT, though, has the potential to change the entire sphere of cryptocurrency, I would say, kind of like Ethereum did in 2015 to 2017. So long term, I think DOT has a lot more effect on the market generally, if it is successful. That's the key question. We already know Link has been successful, but we're not 100% sure if DOT will be. So we have to see if that comes to fruition in 2021. So a little bit more risk on DOT. Link, though, is your easy bet. Jimmy M says, this is a good thing to note on this show. If anybody watches this stream in the future, Ethereum is currently at $595. Yes. Yes, I was moved by an almost all-time high because I know we're going to get the all-time high very soon here. Just imagining that, and seeing, I feel like, it might sound a little crazy, and I know, like, I've sounded crazy enough talking about Bitcoin from when it was at 3,100 and well on YouTube from $3,600. Right? I've been talking about Bitcoin being like a little bit of a crazy man, telling people to buy it under as much as they can under $10,000, right? But I kind of feel like I can see into the future a little bit in terms of with the price chart. I know Bitcoin's going to get to 27,000 sometime next year. And the fact that we got above 19,000 here for the last couple of days, right? Especially the daily closes, we're going to get to the all-time high within this year. And we're going to probably go a decent chunk beyond the all-time high by the end of this year. And just knowing that and being able to see that and, seeing that is just like one of those things where you're just like, man, we're here, right? We worked very hard to get here and a lot more to go. Appreciate you, John. John put it in here. He says, cryptomindsetcourse.com. Get on the waiting list here. Appreciate it. Also, I threw it in there in the chat as well. Also, Anorex says, did you stake DOT? If you do, you get a 12% APY annually, right? You can't get that at a bank. You cannot get that at a bank. The only bank you can get that at is Kraken. 12% APY is ridiculous. There is some inflation you have to take into account with that one, but still, it's better than what you're going to get at a bank for APY. Jake says, how are you going to celebrate the Bitcoin all-time high when we get there? I don't know. I felt like yesterday's stream was kind of like that, but we might have more of like a celebratory stream where, I don't know, any ideas, we can take them. I'm sure we'll get some crazy ones. Yeah, I've been getting emails of people telling me they've made like $20,000 in the last 1 month based on my advice and stuff like that. That's not the first time that's happened in this year, right? It's happened multiple times throughout this year. It's freaking awesome. And I love helping you guys. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here every single day is for you guys, to help you guys, and that to me is also half the journey, right? So hope you guys are paying attention and buying it. Buy that Ethereum under $700. David says, what altcoin do you think has the same potential as Bitcoin did 5 years ago right now? I would say DOT, but more so compared to Ethereum, right? So Bitcoin 5 years ago, what was the price? 5 years ago is 2015. It's a very good question, actually. Wow. Oh, yeah, that was basically the beginning of the last bull market, right? I would just say, yeah, to me, DOT has that potential, but DOT has a lot to prove yet. So if DOT fails, then obviously that doesn't come to fruition. But it's the only thing that I've seen from a very close all-around aspect that I think has the potential to be a major cryptocurrency player for a very long time if it is successful, because it is taking care of so many problems that help all cryptocurrencies. Of course, there are a lot of other cryptocurrencies like Link and Celsius, which I'm very, very bullish on for the long term as well, but just in a different way. So just for this question specifically, I would say Polkadot's really the only thing that I can kind of get there with. Infamous Rifle said, what did you say the best coin wallet was? If you want access to your private keys on your mobile or desktop device, I would say, you have Bread Wallet, but you also have what was the other one? Exodus Wallet. So Bread Wallet and Exodus Wallet are nice. If you want a hardware wallet, which if you have more than $5,000 in cryptocurrency, you should get a hardware or cold storage wallet, which is like a USB that you can stick into your computer and take offline. That is the Trezor Model T is the one that I recommend for you guys. Trezor, Trezor. Never buy them off of Amazon. Buy them directly from the dealer. Trezor.io. All right. See, Joe says, why is the greed part of my brain so strong, Charlie? Yeah, it happens to all of us, buddy. Happens to all of us. It's partially what made me freak out. It's like, I want to buy so much more crypto, and yeah, man, it's great. Just can't never get enough of this game. Interesting. Anastasia Rex says, I invested in both stock and cryptocurrencies, but I see crypto is doing more better, or just better and profitable. Yes, it is. Ooh, baby Black Magic. He says, sell end of year predictions. Well, my first end of year prediction which was back in July. I said it hit $1.60. It's already hit $2.50, right? $5, which is, Litecoin Moses' target, would be great. Something a little bit more conservative would be $3 to $4. So $4 basically. I don't see it going above $5. So if you want a conservatively bullish estimate, $4 would be a good one to aim for. It's currently at $2.50 for everybody else who is not aware of the price. All right. Well, I think we took a look into the chat pretty good. Let's take a look at a couple articles just to kind of give you guys some perspective on why, we're early. We're a little bit nuts in watching the price since it was super low, but that made us part of the smart money pool. I'll show you why. For those of you guys who not yet are in here, it's time to get it. It's absolutely time to get it. The more you delay, the harder it's going to be to get in, and then you're going to get in at some point when it's way too high and way too risky, right? I would say do as much as you can to get into the crypto markets before February. So that's why the course coming out on December 4th for Crypto Mindset is going to be so good. Suleiman says for the celebration, make confetti with the end notes. That's actually not a bad idea. I like that idea a lot, actually. That is hilarious. Good point here, says Jacob. Jacob says, why buy Ethereum and Bitcoin? They will for sure 10 or 20x, right? Bitcoin 10x, Ethereum 20x. But the word is sell will 50 to 100x in the same period. Well, sell to go 100x would be $250 from the current price. If you're counting from the bear market lows, that's a different story, right? So I would say, Celsius, it's hard to really say on something that, we haven't had multiple bull markets on. So it is a little bit of a riskier asset. So the only reason why we're looking at Bitcoin and Ethereum is because they are the for sure things, right? We already got our fill of Bitcoin, and then we have Ethereum next that we're getting our fill on, just for the for sure things, right? So I'm just talking about the stuff that's easy, rinse and repeat for people who are rather new to crypto or people who just want to hold for maybe an entire decade. Now, Celsius, yes, can do very, very good moves and will do massively good moves, has already done massively good moves. When I told people to buy it in September, it was 40 cents. It's currently $2.50, or maybe a little bit lower than that currently, maybe $2.30, but around that area for this week. So sell will get to $10 to $20 pretty easily, I would say. So that's an easy 10x as well, and probably more from the current price. So got plenty of time. We have, like I said, 1 year guaranteed of upwards price action. So, but yeah, it should be good. Hell yeah, Jules says, Michael Saylor might FOMO in today and push it to new all-time highs. That'd be great. Be great. All right. Let's get into it. Oh yeah, Jimmy Him's giving us the current price of $2.38. Good stuff. Sells up over 6,000% this year. It's good. Very good. Aave is also up massively in percentage this year. Aave, AAVE, very good this year. So very good question, Ricardo. He says, how much money is the course and what is it about? So basically it is $497 for the course, one-time fee. You get the webinars, right? It's only available from December 4th to December 8th. And then webinars start December 10th. We will do them 2 times a day. They will be recorded as well as live. And then we'll do that until around December 20th, right? And yeah, the first week of the webinars will be catching everybody and getting everybody onto the same page. Some people will be review, and then filling their gaps and their holes of maybe some of their knowledge. If they don't, we'll do technical analysis, which is the charts, teach you how to do the basics of that, teach you how to do the basics of fundamental analysis, which is understanding the news and information and what's good behind the coin or not. Putting those 2 things together to get an idea of any coins or cryptos that you're looking to get into, a good educated decision of whether to buy or not for a cryptocurrency. That'll be the first week, getting onto the same page, getting the basics, getting review, getting any holes filled. The second week will be all of the stuff that we're expecting in Q1 2021, right? In Q1 2021, what do we expect to happen? A lot. And we're going to get a head start on that by preparing 1 month in advance of the quarter so that you guys can maximize your gains in cryptocurrency, of course, for the entire bull market, but specifically we want to hone in on this quarter. The goal of this course is that you buy the course for $500 and then next quarter, or at the end of the quarter, you have made more than $500, plenty more, depending on how much you put in. I would say if you have $1,000 to play with, then you should be able to do more in terms of profit. And so if you make more than the course costs, that's great. And then second of all, if you make way more than the course costs in the quarter, then you can take the course next quarter and make way more again, and then take it the next quarter and make way more again. And that's kind of the purpose, is to make you more gains than you would have quarter on quarter, right? By getting in the course. So get in the course, try it for 1 quarter. If you do very well, then come in on the next quarter. If you don't, then at least you got the knowledge that you need to stay good for the entire bull market. So I would say give it a shot. Not yet. It won't be available until until December 4th. So you can get on the waiting list here at cryptomindsetcourse.com. And we actually already have over 50 people on the short list. It's going to be a great time. I'm guessing with the webinars and everything, we're going to have over 150 people live in the webinars. So it's going to be awesome. We're going to have a good time. We had an amazing time last time, and it's going to be a good time again. and screw the pre-sale. Let's start the webinars now. It'd be nice, but we gotta prepare everything properly, right? Oops. Yep, there we go. Yep, cryptomindsetcourse.com, baby. And yes, Vinny, you can pay me in crypto. You get a 10% discount if you do pay in crypto, right? 10% discount if you pay in crypto. No problem. All right. Let's get to a couple news points and then I'll wrap it up here for today. So here's one of the reasons why Bitcoin and Ethereum both are doing really well right now and have not gone down. Ethereum 2.0 deposit contract secures enough funds for launch. If we go over here to that deposit contract, basically Ethereum is going from this thing called proof of work to proof of stake. I won't mention what that is, but basically it's going to its next phase of being. And in order to launch that and then keep the progress going and building Ethereum in the way that the developers see fit, Ethereum 2.0 phase 0 of the contract had to have about $350 million worth of Ethereum in it. They met that on Monday, right? And they're taking off to the moon, baby. So you can see this here, right? It was on November 24th. There have been over 500,000 Ethereum were staked in the contract. They need about 14,000 more at that time to get to the 100% mark. They made it. A lot of people who have big bags in crypto, a lot of the OG crypto people helped make it there. And so with Ethereum 2.0 being on time, that's going to make Ethereum very bullish for December, right? Phase 0 contract starts on December 1st. And so Ethereum is doing this basically. So it says, see you here on December 1st at noon UTC, going to the moon, baby. So that's one thing which has helped the price, in addition to things like PayPal and Grayscale buying up a bunch of Bitcoin and Ethereum and Litecoin. So that's one thing to pay attention to. The other one here, I won't get into this today. Maybe I'll talk about it on my show tomorrow. The SoftBank CEO doesn't understand Bitcoin, and watching the price fluctuate was distracting his focus on his own business, and he lost $130 million, unfortunately. Don't be like Masayoshi-san in that regard. In the other regard, he's done somewhat well, but he's made a few mistakes here and there, especially with, I think it was WeWork he had a big issue with, right? But very good entrepreneur. This one I want to focus on more today, which is BlackRock is evaluating cryptocurrencies. The CEO said this is very new news. Oh, wait, no, this is not the article I wanted. This was in 2018 when they were evaluating it. This was not so bullish. Where was the one that I wanted from 2020? Basically, they're putting more money into crypto now than they were interested in it back then. So I'll take, actually, I got to pull that article up next time. So let's take a look at Masayoshi-san's mistake. This is an example of a mistake of what not to do in crypto. Even if you're a even if you're a billionaire and have hundreds of millions of dollars, you too can make or break yourself with some crypto. But you want to make yourself, so to get into the crypto mindset course, come here in December 4th, because that will help you to make sure that you have the best chance at making money and not losing money. Not financial advice, but the best advice we can give. And we've been giving it here for the last year and a half with pretty good success. Anyways, right, Masayoshi said he doesn't understand Bitcoin. So why did you buy it? You guys should do your own research. And that's also what we provide in the course, how to do that research. Even after he invested 200 million in the past, after checking the prices, it was too distracting for him, and he lost $130 million. Sun still believes the digital currency will be useful, but he said he will focus his efforts elsewhere. So why is this not the brightest idea? Well, Michael Saylor, the reason why he's getting into Bitcoin is because for his company, they were losing tons of cash, or they were losing tons of money or value through the inflation of cash year on year, and it was much more than the 2% annually. Go and watch his video with Real Vision. Go and watch his video with Kraken. Just type in Michael Saylor, Saylor, and then Real Vision with Raoul Paul, and Kraken with Dan Held. Amazing videos. It might take a couple hours, but feels like 30 minutes if you watch them and really understand what he's saying. Absolute genius. But yeah, don't end up like Masayoshi-san. Do better, and you can do better with the crypto mindset course. And very, very good point here. Permanent marking kid, he says, why didn't he just hold? I forgot. Oh yeah, there we go. He said, why didn't he just hold? He could have. Dave Portnoy also didn't hold, right? Dave Portnoy could have been in profit of about like a $300,000. I think his original bet in Bitcoin was like $150,000, and then he sold it at a loss back a few months ago or something like that. At least that was the story. Most of these guys buy and hold. You don't sell your entire position, right? You don't buy something for just a little bit. He's looking at the price fluctuation every day. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, right? And not really understanding what he was doing. So Will says, I can't believe that this happens even at the elite level. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Greed and fear are two things that happen in every human being, and you have to learn how to control your own, right? Control your own greed, control your own fear. That is what it takes to win in any type of trading, in any type of investment, but specifically in cryptocurrency, it gets a little bit wild. So you got to prepare in advance. Appreciate you, Tom. Tom says, hit like or you will buy the top and sell the bottom. Yes, you will. You will. So anyways, good times. So that's the public service announcement for the day. So hopefully that will help all of you guys be prepared for the crypto bull run. Ethereum's going to do well. It's going to help the market. Bitcoin's going to do well. It's already helping the market. Ethereum is as well. Polkadot should do well and is got to show that it's helping the market. Link will do well. Celsius will do well. Lots of coins will do well in this bull market. So just start with the tried and true, either Bitcoin or Ethereum, in this case, Ethereum, and then start learning from there. So buy a little bit, whatever you're willing to lose, see how it goes. And then if you like it, get more. And yeah, Have a good day, guys. Peace. Live long and prosper. Catch you all tomorrow on my channel, Cultivate Crypto, here on YouTube at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for more crypto fixes. So until then, have a good one, guys. Prosper and